All right, guys, quick little recap of a few things that do matter. That 30-foot line, intentionally impeding another rider before the 30-foot line can get you disqualified, which puts you to last for that round. That doesn't mean you're out of the race. It just means for that round you get last. The same thing applies to the last straight. Once you cross that line on that tabletop coming into the fourth straight, once you cross that you cannot intentionally impede another rider at that point. I have seen some new faces here. So, guys, once we start race top coming into the fourth straight, you cannot intentionally impede another rider at that point. I have seen some new faces here. So, guys, once we start racing, if your kid does fall down on the track, don't jump the fence. Don't. If you do that, that is why you'll see that we've got officials at every corner. Another one of the to your kid and make sure that it is done safely. So fall down. So please be mindful of that. And with that, if I could get everyone to stand up and remove your hats for the national anthem. All right, guys, we got to get our corner officials into place. We are going to get started off with our balance bikes. We got 3 racks of balance bikes. They are going to do one full lap and pick up their trophy at the finish line. Not a trophy. Sorry, I misspoke. Tonight is ribbons only, so it is a ribbon race. That is also why the race is only $7. So we do save some money on awards when we do a ribbon race. 158 riders and 37 motos on a Tuesday night, guys. Thanks for making this a great event. Very, very thankful for all the riders that show up. And this is also a good time for cruiser and novice riders to go ahead and start making your way to staging. And remember, we will go up the same chute all 3 rounds, so we do not live score. So that main motos thing that you see on the live motos, we don't do that because we are not scoring electronically. No, we are needing our turn 2 official and our finish lines. I see turn 2 right now making her way out. Got to thank our volunteers, guys. As I mentioned earlier, we are 100% volunteer run. So every person you see out here week in and week out is a volunteer. We're volunteering our time, and we do appreciate everyone that does step in and help out to make our events as successful as they are. Ben, I think your wife's ignoring you. She might have heard your voice a few too many times. We're good at finish line. No, you were on 4. Well, we had 2 write-ins for moto number 1. All right, guys, we are getting ready. Going to send those balance bikes first. All right, guys. So you do have to be signed in order to ride, like at all, to be on the track at all, and especially to be in the race. So, and we know that online there's a problem with the balance bikes. That is USA BMX wide. We don't run the website. We cannot charge a $0 event, and we don't charge for balance bikes. So that is an issue there. So for balance bikes, you do have to make sure that you sign up in person at the window every week. Um,
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Guys, I'm only going to announce the names that are on my sheet because if they're not on my sheet, they were not signed in. So right now, we are on track with Elo and Carco, Casey Rogers, Canyon Fenzel, Onyx Belgrave for moto number 1. All right. So we also have Addison Howe out on track. So that is Elo and Casey, Canyon, Onyx, and Addison.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
All right, guys. Our second and last rack of balance bikes on track. Asher Johnson, Wade Warren, Charlie Muck, Grady Kreisa, Abishai Boyer, and Blaine Kreisa making their way all the way to the finish line. All right, guys. As these balance bikes are finishing up, it is time to make sure the cruisers and novices and man, with only 37 motos, probably intermediates, you might start thinking about heading up there because we're gonna drop at our normal speed, keep everything moving. Ben had a target of a time to be done by 9 o'clock. I think we can do it, but that involves you guys too. That means you got to be in your place. We got to be ready to roll. All right, guys, let's cheer these balance bikes off for their last trip around Blue Springs BMX tonight. And there we go. Balance bikes on this beautiful Tuesday night. DJ Ben Hars mixing up the hype music. I did not expect that for whom the bell tolls. Right now, that is setting up for 9-year-old cruiser Asher Luce and Jackson Bowie on the gate.
Ready, watch the gate.
And they are off. This would be a total points race anyway. Asher and Jackson going to battle out all 3 rounds. And guys, just a reminder, balance bikes, you cannot sign up online at this time. The website is so broke. So just keep that in mind when you're coming out next week. And this is also a good time to remind you all that we are closed on Friday in observance of Independence Day.
Attention.
And right now, coming to the stripe with a 1 is going to be Jackson Bowie, followed by the A-bike of Asher Luce on the 2. Moto number 5, 11-year-old cruiser Braden Bullethead Holt, Jet the Hawk O'Connell, Big Mac Duvall, EJ Hawthorne, and Trenton T Money Stewart. Hopping up into turn number 2. That is looking like EJ Hawthorne sitting out front. Top 2 riders going to transfer straight to the main event. That is Hawthorne and Duvall sitting out front.
Random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Getting a little airtime in and out of turn number 3. Coming to the stripe, that is going to be EJ Hawthorne and Big Mac Duvall grabbing up your transfer slots out of round number 1. Moto number 6, 15-year-old cruisers on track with Caden Kohler, Derek Wise, Chase Mode Curley, and Austin Slow Mo Neal. Only one rider, one spot, going to go straight to the main event out of round number 1. That one's good.
Attention.
Okay, riders.
All the
random
way to the
start.
stripe. That is going to be Caden Kohler
Riders
grabbing up the
ready,
one
watch
and
the
only
gate.
transfer spot out of moto number 6. Moto number 71720. Cruiser total points race right here. Only 2 riders making it on track. Benjamin Knockton and Brody Stafford. Little air show out of Stafford going into turn number 2.
Attention.
Okay, riders. Random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
All right, there we go. Brody Stafford getting your 1. And Benjamin Knockman going across with your 2. Benjamin, a new rider out here. Brody, a very seasoned rider out here. Cruiser is an open class for that. So keep that in mind as you're watching. But right now we're on 3135 Cruiser with Grandma Mary Wallace, Brandon Patillo, and Corey Brown. Another total points race with these riders. I mean, they're going to race all 3 rounds.
Attention.
Okay, riders.
And that is Corey Brown locking in a 1. Brandon Patillo with a 2. And Grandma Mary going to be the 3. Moving on, 5 and under novice. Oh, Fiona Rogers to staging. Fiona Rogers to staging, please. Moto number 9, that 5 and under novice class. Grant Perrier, Ford Howell, Elo and Carco, Remington Boyer, Bridget Kilberg, Zozo Holly, Ethan Johnston, and Rosie Malone. We got a battle up front. Top 3 riders moving on to the main event. That is Bridget, Grant, and Rosie sitting up top. Zoe's got her eyes on there, sitting on the bubble for transferring out of round number 1. We'll see what happens through that rhythm section. But right now, that is Bridget sitting up front. Oh, Rosie making a pass on that last straight. We'll see what happens right now. That is Bridget getting a transfer. Rosie and Grant moving on to your main events. We'll see everybody else in round number 2. Moto 10.
Attention.
Okay, riders. Random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Moto 10 out of the gate. Liliana Hodges, Fiona Rogers, Matthias Tierney, Declan Kreisa, and Mason Stockbridge. Got a couple riders popping out up front. We'll see what happens. Those little kids disappear behind the hill from where I'm at down here on the last straight. That is the 200 bike. Matthias Tierney sitting out front. Top 2 riders going to go move right on to the main event. It's the 200 and the 155. Matthias and Declan. Oh, we got a little contact there. Mason and Liliana getting back on it. But right now, I think Matthias and Declan are running away with those first 2 transfer spots as they are blasting down the last straight. That is going to be Matthias and Declan in that order, moving on to the main event.
Okay, riders. Random start. Riders ready, watch
Elliot
the gate.
Garrison to staging. Elliot Garrison to staging. Okay, never mind. That one's not racing. Moto number 11, Jackson, the Jet Beltran, Carter Jackson, Camden Collin, Finn Boyer, and Henry Higginbottom. Top 2 going to go out of round number 1. We got the 233 and the 090. Finn and Jackson battling up front. We got another rider moving in there, trying to make it through. We'll see what happens as they come out of the turn. Most of your passes in BMX are on your turns or your rhythm section. So, guys, you know where to train there. The 377, Camden Collin charging up front, followed by the 233 of Finn Boyer getting the transfers out of round number 1. Yep. So load them up.
Attention.
Okay, riders. Random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Moto number 12, another total points race here. Missing a rider, but we are on track with Kadron Spillman and Grant Roberts. Going to race all 3 rounds tonight. You know what, guys? Enjoy the track time, getting that practice in. And they are racing close, too, pushing each other pretty hard going into turn number 2. Kadron setting up front, followed by Grant on the 2.
Random start. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Oh, man, let's see what happens in the turn 3. Woo, diving low. Kadron hold on to that lead a little bit. Drag race all the way to the finish. That is going to be Grant making a little pass at the end. Kadron holding on to the 2. Moto number 13, 9-year-old novices, Raiden Nybert, Christopher Smith, Vivi the Vibe Deal, and Colini Beanie Welch. Vivian and Christopher sitting up front, but only one rider's making it.
Random start.
Nope, this is 2 riders, 2 and 2s. Top 2 going to move on to the main event. We got a battle for that first spot, but both of these riders are going to make it, and that is going to be Vivi the Vibe Deal and Chris Smith. Moving on to main events out of round number 1. Moto 14, 10-year-old novices, Sal Lamano, Carter Sargent, Kyson Parker, and Spencer Hara. Top rider is going to move on to the main events. Everybody else is going to stick around for the next round, and that is Kyson sitting up front. Got the 901, Carter Sargent sitting on the hip pocket, going to try to get by.
Ready, watch the
But in and out of turn number 3, that looks like Kyson's going to hold on to that transfer spot. And right now it is official. Kyson Parker, your transfer. Moto number 15, 12-year-old novice, Wyatt Freebird Dutton, Ethan Malone, Lily Campbell, Jackson Foster, and Zach Laney. Top 2 going to stick around for mains. Everybody else is going to have to race round 2. Right now, those 2 spots are Lily Campbell and Zach Laney, but we got the 142 of Jackson Foster shopping to get around Zach. We'll see what happens down the 3rd straight and all the way to the finish line. Right now, that looks like Lily is going to hold on to a lead coming to the stripe, and Zach Laney also transferring to the main events. Moto number 16, 14-year-old novices, Caden King, Jackson Nichols, Tyler Malone, Henry Jepson, Carson Hawkins, Cale Kepka, and Jackson Payton. Top 3 riders moving on to mains, the 239, 222, and 195.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start.
Jackson Payton sitting up front on that 239 bike, going to get a transfer, followed by the 222, Carson Hawkins, and 195 of Caden King are your transfers. Moto number 17, 41, 45, Nervous, on track with Daniel Malone, Brandon Hara, and Lars Jepson. Lars and Brandon sitting out front. Total points race right here, so they're going to race all 3 rounds.
Attention.
This is what you call conditioning, fellas.
Okay, riders.
You got to do all 3 laps.
Riders ready. Watch
Keep
the
that
gate.
blood pumping. Right now, Lars Jepson going to get to 1. Brandon Hara with the 2. Daniel Malone going to be the 3. And we are moving on to intermediate. Fast little riders on little bikes right here. Eli Tonga, Brecken, Queen Bee Murray, Blake Big Show Dotson, Madden Kilberg, Piper Harves, and Kasem Cabo Hall. Top 2 going to go on to main straight out of round 1. Eli Tonga sitting up front. We got a battle for that 2 spot. Madden and Kasem pushing each other hard going into turn number 3. Looking like Kasem making a little pass going right in there.
Attention.
Coming out of turn 3, we'll see if they hold on to it. But right now, that is Eli Tonga and Kasem Cabo Hall moving on to your main events out of round number 1. Moto number 19, 7-year-old intermediate, Seth Gotta Go Fast Daily, Nolan Carco, and Edwin Welch. Total points racing right here. Low points wins. You get a point per place. So first gets 1, second gets 2, third gets 3. Total those up at the end of the night. Lowest points gets the number 1. Right now, that is Seth Daly sitting out front,
Okay, riders.
followed by Nolan Carco and Edwin Welch.
Watch the gate.
Good close race in the 7 intermediate group all the way to the stripe. Seth is going to hold on to that number 1 spot. Nolan on the 2, Edwin with your 3. Moto number 20, 9-year-old intermediates, Axel Miracle, Slow-Mo, Berto Dotson, Hunter Hodges, Brennan Hale, and Chase Kilberg. Hale and the 94 bike of Axel Miracle sitting out front. Top 2 riders are going to make it to the main events right out of round number 1. And from where I'm standing right now, that's looking like Hale and Miracle going to hold on to those spots all the way to the stripe. Moto 21, 11-year-old intermediates in the gate.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
And they are out. Trenton, T-Money, Stewart, Everett, E-Money, Carlton, Lachlan, Lightning, Campbell, and Noak Belcher. Top rider going to move on to main events out of this round. Everybody else going to have to race round number 2, and that is Noak and T-Money battling. Noak's got the inside line. Let's see if T-Money does the dive, and he does, man. High-low right there. We'll see what happens.
Okay, riders, random start.
That top spot is what matters this round, and right now that is looking like T-Money's going to hold on. Ooh, risky on the jumping, but T-Money Stewart's your transfer out of Moto number 21. Moto 22, 12-year-old intermediates. Hunter Conklin, Winston, the Hunter Rogers, Vinny Lamano, and Jojo Biondi. The 123 bike, Hunter Conklin, sitting out front. Top rider's the only one making it out to main events out of round number 1.
Ready, watch the gate.
Coming out of the 3rd turn, Hunter Conklin is keeping a lead. Got a little company on the back, but that is Hunter Conklin getting the first transfer. Moto number 23, 13-year-old intermediates, London Johnson, Dill Pickle, Schaffler, the Maverick, the Missouri Monster, Miracle, Derek Wise, and Carson Boogie Zagalik. Wise and Miracle sitting out front, top 2.
Riders
transferring right out of the mains, right into the mains. Coming to the stripe, Derek Wise holding on to that top spot. And Axel Miracle going to be the second transfer out of Moto 23. Moto 24, 14 intermediate, Skylar Visnich, Bentley Morgan, Archer Penny, and Corbin Skaggs. Morgan, Skaggs, Penny, Visnich in that order coming out of turn number 2. Only the top rider is going to move on to the main event out of this round. Bentley Morgan sitting up front. Everybody else giving a little chase. We'll see what happens, but that is going to be Bentley moving on to main events. Moto 20. Whoa, we don't go 24 to 28. 25. Moto 25, total points race right here. 15-year-old intermediates, Mark Schlotzhauer, Blake Laney, and Adam Smooth Operator Wise. I just want to point out while Mark is on track that I've said his name right every time he has been on the track from the very get-go in Racing League. And I heard Jim say it no fewer than 3 different ways at our state weekend. But right now that is Mark Schlotzhauer with the 1, the 2 spot going to Adam Wise, and Blake Laney with the 3. Moto number 26, 36, 40 intermediate, Matthew Kepka, Jerry McNew, Jason Mercer, and Scott Johnson. Only one are going to move on to main events. Matt Kepka sitting out front, the 250 bike of Jerry McNew sitting on the 2 spot right now.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Coming down that last straight. That is going to be Kepka holding on to the 1 and only transfer spot. Moving to the girls club, 14-year-old girls expert on track, Mac Roberts, Kit Kat, Holt, Adelaide Welch, and Gwenny Garrow. Only 1 transfer spot out of round number 1. Right now, that is Holt sitting up front, followed by Welch on the 2. Only that top spot is going to matter coming out of this round. And to the stripe, that is going to be Kaylin, Kit Kat, Holt with the 1 transfer out of 14 girls expert. 8-year-old experts on track. Total points race right here. Austin, Baby Cake Miller, Elijah Corndog Holly, and Asher Luce. Got a gold Cup 2 sitting out front. Asher Luce on the 1.
Okay, riders.
Miller on the 2. Holly on the 3.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
To the stripe in the 8 experts. Got some moves being made, maybe, but that is Ash Loose with the 1, Austin Miller the 2, Elijah Corndog Holly the 3, moto number 29, 10-year-old experts Tacony, Fetty, Stay Ready, Hall, Jet the Hawk, O'Connell, Jackson, Bowie, Sawyer, Snake, Penny, Braxton, Wolverine, Jackman, and Bea,
Attention.
Quads, Dotson. Top
Okay,
2 riders going to move
Riders.
straight to main events. We got 2 sitting out
Riders
front.
Ready, watch the gate.
We got a gold one and a state one. That 26 bike trying to get around, and that is going to be, I don't know which one that was. The transfers there are Jackson, Bowie, and Jet the Hawk O'Connell. That was a good close
Attention.
race out of those
Okay,
10-year-old
Riders,
experts.
random start.
11 experts, Moto 30, Creighton,
Riders,
Tatum,
ready,
Big Mac
watch
Duvall,
the
EJ
gate.
Hawthorne, Cooper, the real deal, and Xavier Davidson. Top 2 going to move on. That is going to be Xavier and the 1 bike of Tatum, the wild one, Wellborn, your transfer spots. Moto number 34, 15-year-old experts, Caden Kohler, Gerald, Wise Guy Wiseman, Colton Hengel, and Austin Slow-Mo Neal. Only 1 rider going to move forward, and right now that is that Rock 1 bike sitting out front, and that is not the right moto. I must have flipped 2 pages. Oh my gosh, the humidity. All right, Brady Barker, Broen Morgan, Hector Laredo Jr., and Corbin Davidson, and that is going to be Laredo Jr. sneaking around at the end, getting the 1 transfer spot. It just happened to be 4 riders in each of the motos on the top of both sheets. And I looked at the plate numbers. These don't match up at all. Once again, we are all volunteers. That means this announcer position is a volunteer spot. If you want to sign up, I'll tell you what to do.
Ready, watch the gate.
Maybe go home. Moto number 32, 13-year-old experts Patrick Couts, Liam the Nightmare Taylor, AJ Johnson, Tyler McMorris, and Cody Velasquez. 2 riders going to move on to the main events right out of round number 1, and right now that is that 17 bike, Patrick Couts up front with the 22. AJ Johnson sitting right there on the hip pocket. And that is going to be Patrick Couts and A.J. Johnson
Attention.
moving on to main
Okay,
events.
Random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Moto number 33, Amari Looney, Caleb Comeback Kid Kurtz, Jabril Falcon Belgrave, Daphne Beanpole Seedorf, Zachary Hurricane Campbell, and Jake Hattie. Top 2 riders going to move on to main events. Everybody else is going to race round 2, and that is, oh, we got a couple riders down. Right now, that is Campbell and Kurtz out front. And to the stripe, that is going to be Campbell and Kurtz going to move on to main events. We're going to get our riders checked out over here. Gonna get those
Okay,
15-year-old
riders, rhythm
experts in the
start.
gate. Moto number 34.
Ready, watch the gate.
On track right now, Caden Kohler, Gerald Wiseman, Colton Hengel, and Sostin Slow-Mo Neal. Coming at us, only one transfer spot up for grabs. That is that 10 bike Colton Hengel sitting up front. Gerald Wiseman sitting, oh man, testing the limit of those tires.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders,
Almost high-sided on that, but that was some good reflexes. Right now, though, I think that is going to be Colton Hengel holding on to that one transfer spot out of moto number 34. Moto 35, 16-year-old experts on track with King Henry Campbell, Evan Penny, and Brody Stafford. Total points race right here. All three riders in the total points race. We got Brody Stafford, followed by Evan Penny and King Henry.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready.
All
watch
the way to the
gate.
stripe. Brody Stafford going to hold on to that one spot. Evan Penny on your 2. Henry Campbell with the 3. Moto number 36, 1720 experts, Amir, Speed Racer, Tolafree, Brandon Patillo, and Sean Madden. So Amir was up in the gate when the balance bikes came up, and he's like, hey, let the balance bikes go with me. I'm their hero. He is fast, guys. So, I mean,
Attention.
you could pick worse heroes out here.
Okay, riders, random start.
Right now, that is going to be Amir Speed Racer, Tolafree with the 1. Sean Madden with your 2, Brandon Patillo with your 3, and we are at the last rack of round number 1, 51-55. Expert Zachariah Hinton, Jim Wall, and Grandma Mary Wallace. Got a battle up front. Jim and Zach pushing each other. Ooh, man, you found the very edge of that track right there. That is going to be Jim Wall with your 1, Zach Hinton your 2, Grandma Mary Wallace going to be your 3. And, folks, that is round number 1. We are going to reconcile all these score sheets. All right, let's see what DJ Ben Harves has in store for us for the hype music this round. Round number 2, guys. Last chance to get in on that main event. If you've got a transfer.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
And we are kicking it off with moto number 4. 9-year-old cruisers on track with Asher Luce and Jackson Bowie. Total points here. They are still racing for total points. Right now, that is that Gold Cup 1. Jackson Bowie sitting out front. Asher Luce on the 2.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start.
Couple fast rippers here.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
And to the stripe, that is going to be Jackson Bowie racking up another 1. Asher Luce with a 2. Moto number 5 coming at us fast. 11-year-old cruiser back on track with Braden, Bullethead Holt, Jet the Hawk O'Connell, and Trenton T. Money Stewart.
Attention.
Okay, riders,
The number
random
35 bike Jet sitting out front. Only the top 2 riders are going to stick around and race main events with us. They were pushing hard on that inside line, man. Braden and Trenton battling. Right now, that is Jet the Hawk O'Connell getting the transfer, and Braden Bullethead Holt getting that second transfer. Trenton, thanks for racing. Moto number 6, 15-year-old cruiser, Derek Wise, Chase Mode Curley, and Austin Slow-Mo Neal.
Attention.
Looking for 2 slots in that main event. Wise and Neal sitting out front. Early right there on the hip pocket. Anybody in those top 2 spots is going to move on to the main event, and that is going to be Wise, and I'm going to check with scoring. And that is Chase Mode Curley getting that last transfer spot, guys. That was a very close one. Austin, good racing. Right now, moto number 7, 1720 cruiser, Brody Stafford getting the 1. Benjamin Nochtman getting the 2 out of that total points race. (31-35) cruisers on track with Corey Brown, Brandon Patillo, and Grandma Mary Wallace.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start.
And that is Corey Brown with your 1, Brandon Patillo with your 2, Grandma Mary Wallace gonna be the 3. Moto number 9, 5 and under novice. 4 riders going to move on to the main event. Ford Howell, Elwin Carco, Remy Boyer, Zozo Holly, and Ethan Johnston. Cheer them on, guys. They are going to work hard. Those tiny little legs on tiny little bikes. Get them pumped up. Right now, that is Zoe Holly sitting out front, followed by Ford and the 740 bike of Remy Boyer and Ethan Johnston. Other one chasing them down. Go get them. All the way to the stripe. That is gonna be Zoe Holly, Ford Howell, Remy Boyer, and Ethan Johnston moving on to main events. Elwin, thanks for racing with us tonight. Moto number 10, 6-year-old novices with Liliana Hodges, Fiona Rogers, and Mason Stockbridge.
Okay, riders, random start.
2 out of the 3 riders going to be able to stick around for main events. Coming to the stripe down that last straight. That is the 419. Mason Stockbridge sitting out front, standing up, man. One of my league riders. It's going to be Mason and the 035 of Fiona Rogers moving on. Liliana, thanks for racing with us tonight. Moto number 11, 7-year-old novice Jackson, the Jet Beltran, Carter Jackson, Camden Collin. No, Jackson Beltran, Carter Jackson, and Henry Higginbottom. Because I can't read a moto sheet. 8 years in, Ben. I still can't read these things. It's actually not the sheet. It's my writing I can't read. Right now, that is the 090 Jackson Beltran moving on to main events and the 105 of Henry Higginbottom. Carter, thanks for. Oh, nope. You know what? This is 3 because we're missing a rider. So guess what, man? You made the main event too. All 3 riders going to move on because that is a boat ride. We're missing 1. Moto number 12, 8-year-old novice. Total points right here. They are still racing for points even though we got a rider missing.
Okay, riders,
Adrian and
random
Grant pushing hard one more time.
riders ready. Watch the gate.
In and out of turn 3. Cadron keeping that low line all the way through there. We'll see what happens. Oh, man, down that last straight at the very end. That is Grant sneaking on up to the 1. Cadron with the 2. Moto number 13, 9-year-old novice, Raiden Nybert and Colini Beanie Welch. We're missing a rider, so it's a boat ride. Both of them made the main events.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
And that is Colini Beanie and Raiden all the way to the stripe. Moto number 14, 10-year-old novices, Sal Lamano, Carter Sargent, and Spencer Hera. 3 riders on track, 2 going to make it to the main event.
Attention.
That is the 901 sitting out front, Carter Sargent, Salamano on the 2, Spencer Hera on the 3. We'll see what happens. They are close up for that second transfer spot, but only the top 2 going to stick around for the main event. And that is the 901, Carter Sargent and Spencer Hera, your transfers. Sal, thanks for racing tonight. Moto number 15, 12-year-old novice, Wyatt Freebird Dutton, Ethan Malone, and Jackson Foster.
Attention.
3 riders on track,
riders,
2 sticking around for the main event.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Sitting out front right now, that 142 bike, Jackson Foster, going to move on to mains, and Wyatt Dutton sticking around. Ethan, thank you for racing. Moto number 16, 14-year-old novices on track with Jackson Nichols, Tyler Malone, Henry Jepson, and Cale Kepka. Got a battle up front. 4 riders on track, 3 going to make it to main events. They are pushing each other hard up front, but guys, you just got to be top 3. That's all that's going to matter out of this round. And that is going to be the 996 Jackson Nichols, followed by Tyler Malone and Henry Jepson. Cale, thanks for racing with us tonight. Moto number 17, 41, 45 novice, Danny Malone, Brandon Hera, and Lars Jepson. Total points race right here. They're mixed up a little bit this round. Brandon was sitting in the 2 spot the last round with Lars up front, and they are exactly backward right now.
Okay, riders, random start.
All right, Daniel, go get him, man. All the way down that last stripe, Lars is shopping, but I think this round is going to Brandon, and that makes them tied in points. Daniel Malone going to be the 3. Moto number 18, 6-year-old intermediates. Back to the little fast kids now. Brecken, Queen Bee Murray, Blake Big Show Dotson, Madden Kilberg, and Piper Harves. Top 3 sticking around for the main events. That is the 116 bike, Madden, followed by Piper and Brecken Murray. Blake Dotson going to chase him down. Do need to point out here the age range here. We've got a 3-year-old racing up with 6-year-olds. Just based on how it works out. So keep that in mind as you're watching this race, but that is going to be Madden Kilberg and Piper Harves moving on. And Brecken, Queen Bee Murray also moving on to that main event. Blake, thanks for racing with us tonight. Moto number 19, 7-year-old intermediate, Seth Gotta Go Fast Daily, Nolan Carco, and Edwin Welch. Total points right here. Last round, it was Seth, Nolan, and Edwin in that order.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Coming out of turn 3, they are still close. Edwin shopping to get around, but I think Seth is going to hold the 1, Nolan the 2, and Edwin the 3. Closing that gap, Edwin. Moto number 20, 9-year-old intermediates, Slow-Mo Brodo Dotson, Hunter Hodges, and Chase Kilberg. Sitting out front on the
Attention.
state 4,
Okay,
Hunter
riders,
Hodges, followed
start.
by the 140 of Chase Kilberg and Slow-Mo Brodo
Ready, watch
Dotson.
the gate.
Top 2 sticking around for main events, and that is going to be the state 4, Hunter Hodges, and the 140, Chase Kilberg. Brody, thanks for racing tonight. Moto number 21, 11-year-old intermediates, Everett E. Money Carlton,
Attention.
Lachlan Lightning
Okay,
Campbell,
riders,
and
random
Noak
start.
Belcher. Noak Belcher followed by E.
Ready,
Money
watch
and
the gate.
Campbell. Top 2 going to stick around for mains. And on that rock, 1 plate, followed by Everett E. Money Carlton. Lachlan, thanks for racing tonight. Moto 22, 12-year-old intermediates, Winston the Hunter, Rogers, Vinny Lamano, and JoJo Biondi. And no, yep, we had T Money and E Money,
Attention.
no G Money.
Okay, riders,
Lots of
random
money
start.
for an all amateur sport.
Riders ready, watch
Not too
the
many
gate.
pros. You can't even race a pro at a normal race like that. But right now, that is Winston the Hunter Rogers and Vinny Lamano. Moving on to mains. JoJo, thanks for racing. Moto 23, 13-year-old intermediates, London Johnson, Dill Pickerel, Schaffler, and Carson Boogie Zagalik. Schaffler sitting out front. Top 2 going to stick around for mains.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch
And getting the
gate.
transfers into the main event are going to be Dylan Schaffler and the state 2 of Carson Zagalik. London, thanks for racing tonight. Moto 24, 14-year-old intermediate, Skylar Visnich, Archer Penny, and Corbin Skaggs. Top 2 riders going to stick around for mains. Yeah, right now that is
Attention.
Skaggs and
Okay,
Penny.
ready, random start.
Visnich giving chase down that 3rd straight.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
To the stripe gonna be Penny and Skaggs getting your transfer spots. Skylar, thanks for racing tonight. Moto number 25, Mark Schlotzauer, Blake Laney, and Adam Smooth Operator Wise. Total points race right here. Oh man, we got a couple riders right next to each other. Blake and Adam pushing each other all over turn number 2. We'll see where they're at in turn 3. Adam on the outside, Blake on the inside. Adam making the outside pass, but that is Mark Schlotzauer all the way to the stripe. Adam Wise with your 2. Blake Laney with the 3. Moto 26, 3640 intermediate. Jerry McNew, Jason Mercer, and Scott Johnson got 2 spots for these guys in the main event right now. That is Scott Johnson out front making a face at me. We got a battle for that second transfer. Jerry and Jason pushing each other coming out of turn 3, but that is going to be Scott Johnson and Jason Mercer moving on. Jerry, thanks for racing tonight. Moto number 27, 14 girls, experts, Mac Roberts, Adelaide Welch, and Gwenny Garrow.
Okay, riders, random start.
Adelaide, Gwenny, Mac in that order. Boom. To the stripe for those transfer spots, Adelaide Welch and Gwenny Garrow gonna stick around. Mackenzie, thanks for racing tonight.
Attention.
Moto number 28, 8-year-old experts, total points race right here. Asher Luce, Austin Miller, and Elijah Holly. Luce and Miller up front battling for those 1 spot. For that 1 spot, and that is going to be Asher Luce with another 1, Austin Miller with the 2, Elijah Corndog Holly with the 3 in that total points race. Moto number 29, 10-year-old expert, Saccone, Fetty State, Ready, Hall, Sawyer State, Penny, Braxton, Wolverine, Jackman, and Bea, Quad, Stotson.
Watch the gate.
Top 3 riders moving on to main events, and that is an 8 bike. Braxton Jackman, State 1, and the 2, Sawyer Penny and Bea Dotson moving on. Saccone, thanks for racing tonight. Moto number 30, 11-year-old experts, Creighton Harves, Big Mac Duvall, EJ Hawthorne, and Cooper the Real Deal. 4 riders on track 3 moving on to mains. To the stripe, that is gonna be E.J. Hawthorne, Deal, and Duval. Creighton, thanks for racing tonight. Moto number 31, 12-year-old experts, Brady Holshot, Barker, Broen Morgan, and Corbin Davidson.
Attention.
Morgan,
Okay,
Barker,
everybody,
Davidson
random
in that
start.
order coming out of turn number 2. They are pushing hard going into turn 3. Davidson making the inside pass. We'll see what happens down the stripe. That is Morgan with the transfer, and Corbin Davidson picking up that second transfer spot. Brady, thanks for racing tonight. Moto number 32, 13-year-old experts, Liam the Nightmare, Taylor, Tyler McMorris, and Cody Velasquez. Velasquez, McMorris, Taylor in that order coming out of turn number 2. Bikes are creaking, guys. That whole moto needs to check their bikes out. To the stripe, that is going to be Velasquez and McMorris moving on. Liam, thanks for racing tonight. Moto number 33, 14-year-old experts coming at us. Amari Looney, Jabril, Falcon, Belgrave, and I believe Jake Hattie. Missing a rider here. So, guys, you got a boat ride. Everybody here is making it to the main event.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Right now up front, that is going to be Belgrave and Looney. Moving on to main events. 15-year-old experts on track with Caden Kohler, Gerald, Wise Guy, Wiseman, and Austin Slow-Mo Neal.
Okay, riders, random start.
Wiseman, Kohler, Neal
Riders ready.
in that order. Slow-Mo Neal.
Okay, riders, random start.
Turn number 2. And to the stripe, that is how they're going to be. Gerald, oh, man, who got that one? So, Wiseman with the transfer.
Attention.
On at the last. 16 expert going to be Brody Stafford, Evan Penny, and Henry Campbell in that order at the finish line. 17-20 expert, track hero, Amir, speed racer, Tollefree, Brandon Patillo, and
Attention.
Sean Madden.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Coming to the stripe, that is going to be Amir with the 1, Sean Madden with the 2, Brandon Patillo with the 3, and last rack of round number 2, guys. Ran pretty quick. I don't think we're going to hit that 9 o'clock target just yet, Ben. But 51-55 expert, Zach Hinton, Jim Wall, and Grandma Mary Wallace. Oh, my gosh. Jim's been finding that white line all night, man. He white lined himself coming out of turn 3 last round. We'll see what happens this round. And they're going to tie it up. Zach Hinton with the 1, Jim Wall with the 2. They're tied with 3 points each. Grandma Mary going to finish it out. And, guys, that is round number 2. We're going to get this all scored. Number 4, 2 riders on track. Asher and Jackson going to battle it out one more time. Total points. Jackson sitting on a pair of aces. Asher on a pair of twos.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
You left that music the same, Ben. Right now, moto number 4 out of the gate. Asher and Jackson. And due to the way the points work, Jackson Bowie's going to be the overall one, but I think these two riders are still going to race it out a bit.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start.
Jackson and
Riders
Asher going
ready,
by me at the
watch
half
the
track
gate.
point. And all the way to the stripe. That is going to be Jackson Bowie with the overall 1, Asher Luce with the overall 2. Moto number 5, 11-year-old Cruisers on track with Braden, Bullethead Holt, Jet the Hawk O'Connell, Big Mac Duval, and E.J. Hawthorne. E.J. Hawthorne sitting up front, followed by
Attention.
Big Mac and the 35
riders,
bike
random
of Jet
start.
O'Connell.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
All the way to the stripe. E.J. Hawthorne racking up your 1. Woo, Big Mac losing a little ground there, but it's held on to the 2. Jet O'Connell with the 3. Jumping is slower,
Attention.
guys. Hey, I saw
Okay,
some good
riders,
videos
random
from Spark BMX on my reels
Riders ready, watch
talking
the
about
gate.
gates and getting over jumps fast this week. So you guys might look that up. Little extra training tips there. But right now, Moto 6, 15 Cruiser, Caden Kohler, Derek Wise, and Chase Mode Curly. And that is going to be Kohler, Curly, and Wise. 1, 2, 3. Total points race here. Benjamin
Attention.
Knockman and Brody Stafford. Brody's got it locked up with a pair of aces.
Riders ready,
Benjamin's
watch
getting
the
some
gate.
good training right here. Really new rider, just came out of Racing League. You could do worse than to follow Brody Stafford around the track. So there you go. Brody going to be your overall 1. Benjamin going to be your overall 2 out of Moto 7. Moto number 8, 3135 Cruiser, Grandma Mary Wallace, Brandon Patillo, and Corey Brown. Corey sitting up front on a pair of aces. Brandon Patillo on the 2s. Grandma Mary on the 3s.
Attention.
And to the
Okay,
strap.
riders,
Corey Brown's going to hold on to that 1.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Brandon Patillo with the 2. Grandma Mary on the 3. 5 and under novice. This is the real main event, man. The crowd goes wild for the little ones. 5 and under novice, moto number 9, Grant Perrier, Ford Howell, Remy Boyer, Bridget Kilberg, Zozo Holly, Ethan Johnson, and Rosie Malone. Bridget sitting out front. We got a bunch of riders there for that 2nd through 4th spot. Bridget, Remy, Grant,
Attention.
Zoe, Rosie,
Random start.
Ford, and Ethan.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Hey guys, at the end of the year, we do have a whole thing about like voting for like loudest parent, best air show. Right now, that is going to be Bridget with the 1, Zoe racking up a 2, and Rosie sliding on up to the 3. Good, racing out of that 5 and under novice group. Moving on to 6 novice, moto number 10, Fiona.
Attention.
Drop my papers.
Okay,
Fiona
riders,
Rogers, Matthias Tierney, Declan Kreisa, and Mason Stockbridge. Pushing hard in this 6-year-old novice group right now. That is the 200. Matthias Tierney out front. Declan Kreisa trying to get around. But that is going to be Tierney, Kreisa, and Fiona Rogers, your podium positions. Moto number 11, 7-year-old novice, Jackson
Attention.
Beltran, Carter Jackson,
Okay,
Camden
riders,
Collin,
random
Finn
start.
Boyer, and Henry Higginbotham.
Watch the gate.
Henry came down and corrected me on his name, so I think I got that pronunciation right this time. I do appreciate that, guys. If I am messing your name up, please let me know. But right now, that is the 377 Camden Collin with your 1, 233 Finn Boyer with your 2, and oh my gosh, I don't know who that was.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready?
All right, and that 3 spot going to Henry Higginbotham right at the line, guys. That was a super close race. Meanwhile, 8-year-old novices coming at us right now. Grant Roberts and Kadron Spillman. Grant Roberts locked it up mathematically with the overall 1. Kadron, your overall 2, but they were racing good all night long. Moto number 13, 9-year-old novices. Ooh, heard some tire chatter right there. Raiden Nybert, Chris Smith, Vivi the Vibe Deal, and Colini Beanie Welch.
That's the gate.
Chris and Vivi up front battling. Right now, that is looking like Chris Smith all the way to the end with the 1. Vivi the Vibe with the 2. Colini Beanie the 3. And Raiden gonna be the 4. Moto number 14, 10-year-old novice. Not total points here. They are racing for their position. Carter Sargent, Kyson Parker, and Spencer Hara. Kyson coming out of turn number 2, followed by Carter Sargent and Spencer.
Ready? Watch the gate.
All the way to the stripe. Kyson Parker with your 1, Carter Sargent with the 2, Spencer Hara with the 3. Good racing. Moto number 15, 12-year-old novices, Wyatt Freebird, Dutton, Lily, Campbell, Jackson, Foster, and Zach Laney. They are bunched up going into turn number 2. At 142, Micah Jackson, Foster sitting out front, Lily Campbell on the 2, Laney on the 3. Going into turn 3, trying to make something happen. Everybody went low, though, so they single file through turn number 3. We'll see what happens at the line. That is going to be Foster, Campbell, Laney, 1, 2, and 3. Moto number 16, 14-year-old novices, Caden King, Jackson Nichols, Tyler Malone, Henry Jepson, Carson Hawkins, and Jackson Payton.
Okay,
Carson Hawkins sitting up front, Payton right there on the 2.
Ready? Watch the gate.
Battle for 3, diving out of turn number 3. That is going to be Carson Hawkins with the 1, Jackson Payton with the 2, and the 195 bike of Caden King with your 3. Moto number 17, 41-45, novice total points, Brandon and Lars tied up, and they are tied up going into turn. Oh, no. We're going to get Lars checked out. Woo, back up, man. That is going to give the overall 1 to Brandon Hara.
Attention.
Lars going to get your overall 2. Daniel going to be your overall 3.
Watch the gate.
Gotcha. Shelly got attacked by a part of the track on that little dirt inspection there. Moto number 18, 6-year-old intermediates, Eli Tonga, Brecken Murray, Matt Kilberg, Piper Harves, and Kasem Hall.
Attention.
Tonga and Hall sitting up front. We got a battle on that 3 spot between Kilberg and Harves. Coming to the stripe, Eli Tonga racking up the number 1. Kasem Cabo Hall with the 2 in the battle for the 3. Matt and Kilberg holding on to that 3 spot at the end. Moto number 19, 7-year-old intermediate. Seth got to go fast daily. Nolan Carco and Edwin Welch. Seth sitting on a pair of aces. Oh, Seth, don't make me do math, man. They are all jumbled up. This is total points, guys. Not what you see is what you get. Total points right here. So that's going to be Edwin with the 1, Seth with the 2, Nolan with the 3.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders
So
ready.
Edwin's got the 2, Seth the 1, and Nolan the 3. Moto number... All right, sorry. We're getting caught up on those total points races. I don't know how tracks run total points all the time because it gets tricky. Right now, this is Noak Belcher with the 1, the State 6 of Chi Money Stewart with the 2, and E Money Carlton with the 3. Yeah, I got to get those. Kelly wants to. It's not that we can't do math. It's just you got to do it. And there's a lot of communication that has to happen. All right, so okay, so Moto 19, Seth Daly with the 1, Edwin Welch with the overall 2, Nolan Carco with the overall 3. Moto number 20 is going to be Brennan Hale with the 1, Axel Miracle with the 2, and Hunter Hodges with the 3.
Attention.
There's a reason USA BMX went to that lane transfer system real quick once they tried to do those total points races with more than a handful of motos. All right, moto number 22, 12-year-old intermediates on track. Hunter Conklin, Winston, the Hunter Rogers, and Vinny Lamano. They are pushing hard. This is not total points. What you see is what you get out of these riders. Right now, that is the 147. Winston Rogers sitting up front, followed by Hunter Conklin and Vinny Lamano.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders
to the stripe gonna be Rogers, Conklin, Lamano. Man, Conklin had some speed at the end. Moto 23, 13-year-old intermediates, Dylan, Dill Pickle Schaffler, Maverick, the Missouri Monster, Miracle, Derek Wise, and Carson Boogie Zagalik. 3 wide diving into turn 2. We'll see who comes out on top. That's looking like Wise had the inside line set up to go into turn 3. We'll see as they dive into turn 3 all together. Ooh, bumping bars on this group, but that is going to be Derek Wise with the 1, Carson Zagalik the 2, and Dylan Schaffler on the 3. Moto number 24, 14-year-old intermediates, Bentley Morgan, Archer Penny, and Corbin Skaggs. Morgan, Skaggs, Penny coming out of turn number 2 in that order.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders
Single file race for the back half of the track. Bentley Morgan holding on to the 1, Corbin Skaggs with the 2, Arch Penny with the 3. Moto 25, 15-year-old intermediates, Mark Schlotzauer, Blake Laney, Adam Smooth Operator Wise. Mark sitting on a pair of aces.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders
Adam on the 2s, Blake on the 3s. And that is how they're going to cross. Mark Schlotzauer, your overall 1. Adam Wise, your overall 2. Blake Laney, the overall 3. 3640 intermediates, Matt Kepka, Jason Mercer, and Scott Johnson coming at us. Johnson, Mercer, Kepka, turn number 2.
Riders ready.
Maybe it's dark is what makes the mics cut out, Ben. I don't know. It got dark. Now it's cutting out. Scott Johnson, your overall 1. Oh, it's not overall. This is positioned. Scott Johnson, the 1. Jason Mercer, 2. Matt Kepka, the 3. 14-year-old girls experts, Kaylin, Kit Kat Holt, Adelaide Welch, and Winnie Garrow. Not total points. What you see is what you get. Big air show out of Kit Kat Holt right there, followed by Welch and Garrow.
Ready. Watch the gate.
Oh, no after practice tonight, guys. We all got to get home. Kaylin, Kit Kat Holt, your 1. Adelaide Welch, 2. Gwenny Garrow, your 3. Once again, we're not going to do any after practice. We are going to pack up and leave.
Attention.
Okay, right.
It's a school night. Right now, we are on track with the experts, 8-year-old experts, Austin, Baby Cake Miller, Elijah Corndog, Holly, and Asher Luce. Asher Luce sitting on the ones all night so far. Austin Miller on the twos, Elijah Corndog, Holly on the threes. And that is going to be Austin Miller with the one, but the overall two. Asher Luce gets your overall one. Asher Luce gets the one.
Okay, riders.
Miller the two. Holly the three. Moto number 29, 10-year-old experts, Jed O'Connell, Jackson Bowie, Sawyer Penny, Braxton Jackman, and Bea Dotson. Ooh, I heard some tire sliding there. That is going to be the gold one. Jackson Bowie, Jed O'Connell, Sawyer Penny in that order. Moto number 30, 11-year-old experts, Tatum, Wild One, Wellborn, Big Mac Duval, EJ Hawthorne, Cooper the Real Deal, and Xavier Davidson.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start.
To the stripe, Xavier Davidson, your one, the 27 bike, EJ Hawthorne, the two, Tatum Wellborn on the three. Moto 31, 12-year-old experts, Browan Morgan, Hector Laredo Jr., and Corbin Davidson. Not total points. What you see is what you get out of these 12 expert riders in Moto 31. Laredo, Morgan, Davidson in that order, diving into turn number 2.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Ooh, Morgan was shopping. Hector shut the door, and that's going to be little Hector with the one, Morgan with the two, Corbin with the three. 13-year-old experts, Patrick Couts, A.J. Johnson, Tyler McMorris, and Cody Velasquez.
Attention.
Okay, riders.
Couts, Velasquez,
Riders
and Johnson sitting up on podium position right now, all the way to the stripe. They are going to hold just like that. Patrick Couts with your one, Cody Velasquez the two, A.J. Johnson the three. 14-year-old experts, Amari Looney, Caleb Comeback Kid, Kurtz, Jabrell Belgrave, Zachary, Hurricane Campbell, and Jake Hattie. Woo, they are bumping bars going through turn number 2 up front. Wow, man, that is a drag race now. That is going to be Campbell, Hattie, Kurtz, 1, 2, 3. Man, good racing out of those kids. Especially good that they kept it together. Thank you all. Moto number 34, 15-year-old experts, Gerald Wiseman, Colton Hengel, and Austin Slow-Mo Neal. Right now, Hengel, Wiseman, Neal coming out of turn number 2.
Attention.
Oh, Wiseman is shopping, trying to get by. Got it. The little move right there on the inside. Getting to hold it to the line. That's going to be Gerald Wiseman with the 1. Colton Hengel, the 2. Austin Neal, the 3. Moto 35, 16-year-old experts, Henry Campbell, Evan Penny, and Brody Stafford. Total points right here. Brody sitting on 1s, Evan on the 2s. Henry on the 3s.
Attention.
Okay, riders.
They are going to cross like they did all night long.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Well, sort of. Penny, Stafford, Campbell. Penny, the overall 2. Stafford, your overall 1. Campbell, your overall 3. Moto number 36, 17, 20 experts, Amir, Track Hero, Tolafree, Brandon Patillo, and Sean Madden. Man, you guys are flying.
Attention.
Okay, riders, random start.
Total points here, Amir with the 1s, and he's going to lock it up. Amir with your overall 1. Sean Madden, your overall 2. Brandon Patillo, your overall 3. Last moto of the night, Zach Hinton, Jim Wall, and Grandma Mary Wallace. Wait, we got to do math on this one. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. Oh, yeah, I wrote it down wrong. Well, no, I wrote it down wrong. So, still had to do more math than normal. That is Jim Wall with the 1 and your overall 1. Zach Hinton, your overall 2. Grandma Mary, your overall 3. Ben, we were late by 5 minutes. And guys, thank you all for a great night. Don't forget, we are closed this Friday. Be careful with your